Hi, I'm Tim Roble, and welcome to another episode of Adventure Athlete. Today, I'm super excited to introduce you to our brand new 1089 Wrecker A1. It's a 2000, and this is going to be a expedition truck build. I have a lot of things to do on this. I'm going to build a habitat somewhere between 25 and 32 feet on the back of this. I got this truck from Martin at fmtvsales.com up in Oregon, and basically never met with the guy in person, and I have to say that he was so good to deal with. After I kind of took this journey, I'll take you back to when COVID started in March. I went and self-isolated out in the desert for 14 days in the adventure truck, and I just took a mountain bike with me. And one of the first things that I noticed is, man, I wish I would have brought my motorcycle, my side-by-side, had all of my adventure toys to go out and train and play with every day. And so I sat down with a clean sheet of paper and I said, what size box would it take to house a garage like a Thor Outlaw? Like, what would it take to house everything that I want to take with me in a platform where I want to go? And so I came up with around a 25 to 30 foot box, and with that laid out, I said, okay, I'm going to start looking for a platform. And previous to finding this truck, I was going to go like with a Dodge or a Ford, like a 5500 chassis, cabin chassis, and then build a habitat on that. Start out with about a $75,000 truck and go up from there. And I don't think it would have been a big enough platform for what I wanted to do. So I just came across a Facebook group, FMTV on Facebook, and Sean Filner runs that site. And so I got on there, I showed a picture of my truck, we chatted back and forth on private messages, and he actually was the reason I really fell in love with the FMTVs. That's the family of medium tactical vehicles. There's about 20 different variants that they build of these that use probably about 90% of the same parts: tires, wheels, axles, motors, trans. So there is a huge surplus for parts. A lot of these parts you can go down to the local Napa and buy over-the-counter parts for this truck. So parts aren't hard to find. So I started doing a lot of research, and I thought, man, I know this thing's going to get 5 miles a gallon. And I found out that you can do highway gears in them. Military-wise, it'll do 50, 55, maybe 60 with these trucks stock. But I had highway gears put in by Bryce, and he does a trip throughout America, basically, and installs gears and then does a huge road trip. So I got on his schedule, got set up for that. Those were just done this last week, and literally this truck is still warm because it was just delivered about 15 minutes ago. So I thought I'd get my first video. But Bryce did the gears, highway gears, and then he did 2 rear lockers, and they're like a Detroit type style in these axles. This truck is air braked, and it is 6-wheel drive. It has about a 30-70 split until you put it in like the full low range option, which pretty much isn't a low range, but it utilizes first gear that's really low, and then that'll split it to I guess you'll call it 33% per axle, because there's it's 6-wheel drive, and so these rear 4 should turn and really push, and getting stuck shouldn't be too big of an issue. It has central tire inflation system on this rig stock. Tires are approximately 46 inches tall. Tire and rim is about 350 to 400 pounds, so I'm told. I'm really impressed with this platform, seeing this truck in person. I pulled the trigger on this without seeing the truck in person. Dealing with Martin up there, he answered all my questions. This was set up as a wrecker. It had, I think, 2 or 3 winches on it. It had a deal on the back and a material crane, and had all kinds of stuff on it. I said, hey, I want that truck, but I don't want any of that stuff on it. You can have that. So we went back and forth. We came up with a what would be a fair deal for both of us. I feel like I got the more fair part of that deal because it was a lot of work to strip off all of this. With this 1089 A1 chassis, I got a little bit bigger brakes and I think heavier duty springs, so I'm told. First order of this project is going to be to go through and cosmetically pressure wash everything, get a fresh coat of Rust-Oleum flat, which ends up being like a semi-gloss paint. Anything that's got a little bit of surface rust and stuff on that, I'll hit with a wire wheel and prep it. I'll take anywhere between 3 and 5 days just to make this a solid performer. The cab, I'm going to go ahead and do a Raptor liner, and that's in a white. It's going to be a roll-on. If you guys watched my build series for the adventure truck, the construction that I used for that was a steel frame with an aluminum skin on the outside, polystyrene with Reflectix for insulation, and then a tongue and groove inside. I'm going to go with that same theory. As we come forward here, we have spare mount. This is gonna disappear. The factory air cleaner is gonna disappear. I have a kit coming from Tracks Off Grid. Steve's another guy that's really good to deal with. I have a pallet showing up here in the next couple of days that has the in-cab air conditioning, a mini split for the Habitat. With this Habitat that I'm building, it's going to have 1500 watts of solar, a full 100 watt, 100 amp service. Most of everything is going to be DC, although it's going to have a 5000 watt pure sine wave inverter. I already have all of that stuff. I have about 90% of the stuff in stock to build this. Water tanks and sinks and stuff for the bathroom and toilet and everything set and ready to go. It's going to be a rustic build on the inside. Outside's going to be the paneling. The truck's going to be white. I'm running twin spares. You can see I have one up here, one on the pallet. Got to figure out how to get that off today. And the spares are going to do just like the adventure truck. They're going to be back here in line with the wheels, and then they're going to drop down with a winch and a guide system. So I'll be able to change out tires and wheels. 2 is 1, 1 is none. That's my theory on spares and fire extinguishers. So get some things going here. As I look around this truck, it is in phenomenal shape. It's a 2000. What Martin does and what makes it different, you can go to like Government Planet and get one of these trucks relatively cheap from auction. You're going to wait a little bit to get one, but you don't know the condition. And what makes like somebody like Martin so special is he runs it through a depot, and he's got guys that has worked on these trucks their whole career in the military, Air National Guard guys, and they go through and they do a service, and they want to make sure that nothing's leaking. He gives you a 6-month warranty guarantee on it for that. And I haven't read any of that stuff. I got to go sign that paperwork and get that back to him. You know, literally this truck showed up about 15 minutes ago, and right now I'm just kind of doing a once over, taking a look and seeing what everything is. And you know, I got my work cut out for me. All of this stuff is going to disappear. This is going to allow me to build the Habitat, you know, probably somewhere in the arena, like probably where that spare tire mount is, because this cab is air ride on the airbags. And I already have the Memphis Midwest military equipment aftermarket air ride and shock for this system. So that's going to be kind of cool. But long story short is I want to build the Habitat here. I mean, there's an extra 2.5 feet that you can gain by getting rid of the spare and this big air cleaner here. So Tracks Off Grid also sells their air cleaner kit that's got 2 Donaldsons on it that's set up and calibrated for the CFM for the air on this rig. So that's going to be a lot of work to get that out of the way. I'm wanting to get all this detailed, looking good, inspected. I'm going to have to do something with this. I believe this is the radiator for it. This is going to have to drop down or be relocated somewhere. It's already been relocated once. But as you can see, I can't have something sticking up inside the habitat. So this has got to do a relocation and figure that out. Go from there. I'm probably going to do something with this exhaust. I have watched a couple of videos. There's a lot of great videos, by the way. Sean Filner has, I think it's Resto Mods, but type in LMTV. He's got a bunch of videos. I've watched all his videos 2 and 3 times. Liked him. Help his channel out too, because he's a great dude and just a huge knowledge base for this. There's also Broke Overland. That's Chad. He's got a great channel. He's got a lot of good things that he's done there. He's done a real good clean. Tracks Off Grid, once again, is another good resource for this. And there's a lot of great videos to show you how to work on just about everything here. This is all kind of 10th grade technology, I'm going to say. This was made to work on by the military. And I find with the technical manuals and things that they have that really it's pretty straightforward, everything on here. I'm not afraid to learn something new. I know that this is a huge undertaking and a huge learning curve, but I've already learned so much by watching the videos. How to break down a tire and rim. You can do that right right here. I have some balancing beads, 26 ounces worth, that I want to put in each tire. So I got to break down 8 tires to do that. Here's a good look of inside the cab. I'm going to climb up in here and show you. And this will be all redone. And kind of have a setup here. This will be where the crawl through will be through to access the habitat. This had a turret, or the option for a turret mount in it. Got to make sure that that's sealed really well. But I have an air conditioner from Tracks Off Grid also coming for this. I have cruise control for this that I already have. So inside, I'm not going to worry about too much. I'm going to use the military seats for now, although that's going to kill me. I want to get the box habitat built and get this somewhat operational to go down the road. So got a lot in front of me. Like I said, every morning I'm going to share my tips and tricks and what I learned the previous day. I don't do a lot of slow motion video of this is how I did all of this. I'd rather come through and tell you, hey, this is what I did. These are the wrenches I used. This is how this whole process went. So if you're interested in stuff like that, please hit like and hit the subscribe and the little notification bell. Love you guys watching. When I built the adventure truck, which is actually sitting right in front of me, when I built that, the community on YouTube was so supportive, and it was nice to get the help and everything out there. So I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. I don't always get it right the first time, but I'm not afraid to say that, and I'm not afraid to cut something off like you guys saw on the adventure truck. The front was too long. I cut all that off and had to redo it. So I learned from that, shared that journey. There's a lot of little things that us as collective, as a community, can do better and learn from each other here. I don't know a whole lot about this truck, but a year from now, I'm going to know a whole lot about this truck, and I'm looking forward to the journey. So if that's something that interests you, follow, like, subscribe, and let's get this journey happening. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Tim Roble, and I'll catch you here next time.